Jamie Lee from Northern Ireland. I just happened to be here with the cool Karen A. Dahlman. And,
Hi guys.
we're just hanging out and we're going to talk about your email. And you asked for some follow up, and we're going to see what she has to say. And for those watching this video right now, this is part of the content that's in the episode. I think I'm going to call it like listener feedback something or other episode. So this
Something
is just
fancy,
kind of something fancy I come up with later. It's kind of just some bonus content video that I plan on putting out there in the Facebook world. But hi, Karen. What's up?
Hey Patrick, what's up is me and you doing this fun little video. Hey.
Yeah, I'm excited after we read this email. I'm excited to catch up with you because you've got some stuff going on and we haven't chatted in a while. And so we'll need to catch up and as far as content, see what's going on in, your Ouija world.
Oh, I know. I mean, you've been so busy with school and I've been busy with work and then doing my videos and always it's summertime, you guys, when we get to catch up. So
yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, and that's when we start doing
Dub Smash.
Dub Smash. I almost forgot what it was. We start sending our Dub Smash. Oh my gosh, don't get me started. That is.
I was just thinking about that, I think a few nights ago, and then you reached out to me and said, hey, let's catch up, and then we decided to do this follow-up video thing and the audio for Jamie. But it's funny because I was thinking, I'm going to send you a random dub smash. Out of the blue, we send each other these random dub smashes, and they're hysterical.
I mainly think about doing a dub smash when my phone says that it's time to update dub smash. I'm like, oh, it's got an update. I need to do a dub smash with Karen. Dub smash date tonight. Later tonight, okay? Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and read Jamie's email. She had some nice words for the show at the beginning, and then she asks, or she has a cool story. Mm-hmm. But she says, hi, Patrick. Just sending you an email for 2 reasons. 1, to say thank you for such an awesome podcast. You have a great way with guests, and your enjoyment of the subject really comes through, which makes it even more entertaining. Well, you rock, Jamie. Thank you. I would also like to share a paranormal experience that my mom had when I was around 5 years old. We were living in a house just around the corner from where this all occurred, and my mom, in her 20s at the time, decided to make a Ouija board out of paper. Having researched how to play it, she, my dad, and my 2 aunties were all using the board. They contacted a spirit and asked a question about my great-grandmother, who committed suicide shortly before my mom found out she was pregnant with me. They asked, would she have done it knowing she was pregnant? And the spirit replied, no. So they asked a few more questions and took a break to take it all in. When they returned and started again, an ornament dog that my mom owned slid across the floor. They shot up terrified and called my parents to tell them what happened and threw the ornament dog out. After everyone had left, my parents went beside me sleeping to say a prayer. Ever since that day, they never did it again. I know you have talked to the amazing Karen A. Dahlman, ta-da, and I was fascinated by her view of the Ouija board and wondering what you would think of this. I was too young to know what was going on, but a creepy story my mom told me. Keep up the amazing shows, Patrick, and that's from Jamie Lee from Northern Ireland. So what do you think about this, Karen? Is that a common story you've heard with this kind of poltergeist-like stuff in happening in a Ouija session?
Well, first I want to say, hey, Jamie Lee, shout out to you. A wonderful note you wrote to Patrick. And it's great to hear people's stories because I think we can't underestimate the evidential experience and the stuff you get back from spirit when you start reaching out into those realms. Now, to say that this happened because of the Ouija board, I think that could be as far a stretch. Let me tell you this, Jamie. This is what I think happened there. And it really doesn't matter what I think. It really matters what you think. But what I think is once we start reaching into these other realms and we ask permission and for spirit to talk to us, or we try to reach out to them, whether it's with the board or with ourselves or with a candle in a dark room, whether it's with EVP or a paranormal ghost investigation, what we do is we start to open up and allow the veil to thin and these beings to come through. Now, it's not because of a Ouija board, because the Ouija board is just neutral. It's because of the people in that room that night. So it's because your mother, your father, your two aunts that were there, it was them using the board I have behind me right here, as an excuse or as their vessel, their chosen way to try to open up this energy so they can know and have the proof that your great grandmother was really still around. You know, when these beings come back and talk to especially our loved ones, it's because they love us, regardless of the fact that she took her life and probably ended it way too soon. But she took her life regardless of that fact. They still have love. They still love you and love the people they leave behind. And they're still around us paying attention to what's going on. So I think that night when this creepy story happened, truly it was a matter of they were ready to receive some kind of notice, some kind of validation again that the spirit lives on. And they received something. They received something back that moved mysteriously. This porcelain dog, this little animal moved across the floor. It slid across. They got what they were looking for, some evidence that, yes, your great-grandmother, their grandmother was still around. And that's the beauty of love, especially love and family and deep friendships that exists beyond all time. And that was their proof. Now, I'm a little saddened to hear that they were done with the Ouija or doing that kind of communication. But, you know, everybody has their own path. They got their proof. And maybe that was all they needed. And, Jamie, in the end, really, this is a story that you have remembered since the age of 5 forward. So you've remembered the story for about, 16 years now? So it stayed with you. That's other proof of your great-grandmother staying with you. Regardless of the story, she's still with you. And that message, that incident remains with you and will remain with you forever. And again, that's the love shining through from the other side. Would I fear it? No, I wouldn't fear that. And your parents, if they asked me, I would say, well, what is it about that you fear? Did you fear it because there was something there showing you that things do continue on and exist in the other dimensions? I would say, well, welcome to the club. You had a breakthrough. And it's incredible when we have these breakthroughs because it does show us, it does give us that confirmation that life continues on. And my guides, what they always tell people, they say, we don't know what death is, although you use that word. All we know is life, and life transcending life, and it transitioned it into another life form, another energy way of being. And that's all they know, and that is exactly where your great-grandmother is. And I do want to make a final note about suicide. I have spoken with many different spirits who have committed suicide, including somebody I knew who was close to me. And what I have found out is that usually they're very sorry that they have done such a thing, but they still experience and feel love, that love never ends. And just because they were struggling in this life, once they make it over there, they have people, beings, other entities and energies that will help them heal. And yes, it's a long healing process. And yes, they have to often repeat some of these things they gave up learning when they took their life, but yet they are still loved, very much loved, and welcome to have that healing they need. And so just know that your great-grandmother does love you, and she's with you, and she's with your whole family. So anyway, I loved your story, and thank you for sharing it. And I don't think it's creepy at all. I think it's really, really cool that you have such a story to tell.
I'm glad you brought up the suicide thing because I was trying to figure out how to bring that up because it's obviously kind of a big emotional thing that is stuck with that family story, you know?
It stays with the family. In more ways, one not just this way with this porcelain dog that's little across the floor in the story. It stays with them. The guilt of it, the shame of it, the sadness about it, and people when they do take their life, they're not thinking about that. They're really just thinking about themselves because they're in such great pain. But yeah, suicide, to be honest with you, is never the answer. There's something else that's the answer. But yet it is an outcome that happens, and it is very tragic for the family and everybody that falls in succession. All the next people that live on with that in their life. It's sad. I know it's very hard, Jamie, on you and your family, for sure.
Now, I, like you, was also kind of sad to hear that they put this all away for good for years
Yeah.
and were afraid to go back to it because, I would have thought, hey, it's just getting warmed up. I would have gotten super pumped and excited. But in this situation, in this session, would you say that was probably the right decision for them to end the session at that moment like they did if they felt some kind of fear?
Yeah, when you feel fear, that's a good point, Patrick, because when you start to feel fear, then you start drawing more fearful things to you, just fearful energies, and it's better they stopped when they did. I think that you're right. They were just getting warmed up to actually get some kind of paranormal activity in tangent while they're using this tool. That doesn't always happen. You hear stories about it. It can happen. I don't connect the two always because, like I said, they had already been thinking about her. They created this tool and wanted to talk to her. It was their desire, not the tool, not the board, not the piece of paper. It was their desire that allowed her to come through. And she was saying, "Hey guys, I'm here. Look at this little toy or this animal slide across the porcelain animal slide across the floor." She just want to say, "I'm here." I understand why they quit because it's something out of the ordinary they're experiencing, and that can shake us to our core. I really hope that the parents, your parents, Jamie, I really hope that help them open a little bit more to looking at this other dimension. And obviously for you, yeah, you're looking at it. You're following Patrick's podcast and you're asking the questions and you're listening to all these things. So it's definitely probably opened you up a lot because of that experience. And sometimes the people have the experiences are not the ones who are supposed to continue delving in it or exploring it. Sometimes it's the people that hear the stories of the experiences that activate something in them. I understand this from my own family. I had a lot of paranormal stuff going on in my family at different levels, and it was more the stories they told me that really, helped me develop into this realm even more so because of the stories I heard. So I think everybody played their part, but I'm glad to hear, Jamie, that you're still open to exploring such things and you're willing to share this story, with Patrick.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie, for reaching out to me and from Ireland. So I love
I
that I
know.
have Ireland listeners from Ireland, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to share it with everyone. So I want to encourage everybody to reach out and share your stories, and then sometimes I say, hey, can I share this? So Karen. For real, it's been months since we've had any kind of, Karen A. Dahlman content on the big seance. And since then, you have got a crazy, activity going on, and not paranormal activity, but like activity on YouTube. You're putting all kinds of content out that way. You also have a new kind of position in a cool, historical society. So kind of update us on what's going on with you.
Yeah, well, you guys in the Big Sans parlor, you see in the Facebook group, you see my post. I'm posting all my videos I do on there because they all are about paranormal, pretty much, and spirituality, metaphysical, and the supernatural, which we love. So yeah, I'm releasing at least a video a week. I was telling Patrick earlier. I try to stay up on that. The other thing is that I've been inducted into the Talking Board Historical Society as one of their directors. And sometimes I post things in the page too, you guys, that are related to their posts and my posts too. And I invite you to come over and join us at tbhs.org on our website, and also Talking Board Historical Society on Facebook. Come join us. Okay, got to tell you something really cool, Patrick, and you guys
Awesome.
too. So this group is the one that brought you the Elijah Bond gravestone. The one that has the Ouija board on it that everybody talks about in Baltimore in the cemetery. Well, what we are doing now is there is a founder, considered a founder of the Ouija board that many of you all do not know about. It's a woman. You always hear about the men, but you don't hear about the woman. It's one woman. Her name is Helen Peters. I've spoken about her before, and I talk about her in my book a little bit, The Spirits of Ouija. But she does not have a gravestone. And she was not really remembered in history. So we are allowing people to begin to see her. We're helping her, promote her in history to say, this is what this woman did. She was critical to the Ouija board getting named at the patent office. She used the board in front of the patent officer, and he asked him a question. If the board gave him the right answer, he would give them that patent. And guess what? She and Elijah Bond used the board, gave them the right answer, they got the patent. People don't know that story. She was also present, you guys, when the Ouija board received its name. She was at that session. So we have decided to raise the funds, which we're working on right now. Everybody's welcome to go on over to our website and help donate if you'd like. But we're working on the funds right now to get this gravestone. We have it designed. We already have our opening date when we're going to have a revealing. We're inviting the public to come to it. It's going to be in Denver. More details are coming. You can watch at my website. You can go watch on Facebook. I'll be definitely letting you guys know. But we'd love to have you join us. But that's one cool thing we're doing, and that's in September. So I'm really excited about that. And this group is really dedicated to preserving and celebrating the history of our favorite board, the talking board. So that's kind of exciting.
That's awesome. It's like she's coming back from the spirit world saying, me too, y'all.
She's alive and well in spirit. Absolutely. It's time for everybody to know the truth about her and who she is. And this monument we're putting up is huge. I mean, it's really going to be a cool unveiling and a nice little party we're going to have for her too. That, like, again, the public's invited. But you and I were talking earlier too about that afterlife conference.
Yeah, Scottsdale.
Yeah, and he's going to be there, but we're going to miss each other. We're just not going to see each other during that time.
I know. It's in June, right?
No, that's in September.
Oh, September. Okay, I was going to say, I was thinking it was just a month or two after.
No, it's interesting because that event is the weekend before I do the event for Helen Peters. They're like back to back. So yeah, I'll be in Scottsdale like the 14th, 15th, and 16th of September. And the following weekend, I'll be in Denver at this unveiling. So it's kind of some cool stuff we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us for this little, random bonus, content in this very random, I've never done an episode like this of the Big Seance podcast.
And you know what? It's fun to do different things, isn't it, Patrick? It is.
Karen is always really good at pushing me out of my box and getting me to try things like this video even that's going in the parlor. I don't know if I could wink any harder.
Listen, he does a good job, so let him know. Give him good feedback below, you guys. Let him know how good he does on these things.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's summer. I'm excited to try new things, and we're going to try to get rolling here and pick up the content. So, everybody, thank you for watching.
Thank you, guys. Love you.
Yay!
Yay!